Welcome to the Dawgs Table. Hosted by Craig Fountain and Jared Fatty Bates. Get access to special guests, anyone can join the Dawgs Table. Find the link to join the show in the comments when we go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Periscope, and everywhere on the BIGPLAY network. Here's your hosts, Craig Fountain and Jared Fatty Bates.
We are live at the Dawgs Table. Fatty, I'm stealing your thunder tonight. I'm excited.
Completely fine. I'm a little late, and I apologize. Normally, I come in hot, but a little lame duck today, but that's okay.
That's all right. But welcome to the Dawgs Table. We are here every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. For those of you that don't know, we are a live Browns roundtable discussion. Anybody can join. We'll be posting the link in the comments for anybody to join very quickly here. So give us a few minutes. We'll post the link in the comments. If you're on Twitter, I will post the link manually in the comments. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, we can actually display and interact with your comments, kind of like we did here with Chris. Chris says, here we go, Brownies. Chris, we appreciate you joining in. Make sure you guys hit that like button, that subscribe button. If you're on Twitter, hit the like button, retweet this video out. We certainly appreciate it. We are brought to you by the BIGPLAY Network. You can watch anywhere BIGPLAY is, as well as anywhere that we're on. And we are presented to you by Labatt Blue Light and Remax Edge Realty, the JC Group, an outstanding group of sponsors we have. So check those guys out. Links are in the video description. Fatty, how was your bye week?
Well, it kind of sucked, but it's okay. We got some bad news as a family. One of my friends passed away with COVID on Friday, which I've talked to you about. So it's been kind of a weird week here in the Fatty household, but something sun shining, sort of. It's 20 degrees. It's cold, snowy here in Cleveland. So it is what it is. It's that time of year. But the bye week was, and also Michigan won the Big Ten championship, and they're in the playoff, and it just it's just weird. It's a weird year. Weird.
All right. And,
what about you? What did you do on the bye week?
I worked. I worked, and it was Landon's 16th birthday this weekend. So we got out here. We checked out. We don't talk about food as much on here as we as you do on Illegal Ham to the Face. But we Ben, to answer your question, we were on Twitch. Nobody was watching. Twitch is hard to get into, especially when you're outside of the gaming world. But what was I getting at? Oh, we went to a Brazilian steakhouse up in the Beechwood area, and it was pretty good. That's what he wanted for his birthday, was to go to a Brazilian steakhouse. I
didn't get a phone call. What in the world? You go to a Brazilian steakhouse and you don't even call me? Come on, Craig.
Oh man, what a bill that was. But hey, it was the 16th. He's getting a car. He's ready to get his license. This is strange territory as a parent. So
when's he going to start cutting clips for us?
Man,
Put it to work. Come on.
I know. Gen Z and their price tags these days. It's insane. It's insane.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, Justin. Justin. For real, we were on Twitch. We had it connected. But we just didn't get any engagement or viewership. It's hard to market outside of the gaming space.
Can we just go Justin BJ?
I mean, we can actually I'll tell you what, Ben, if you want us to go on Twitch, let us know. We have a Twitch. It's a click of a button for us. So we can actually go live on Twitch next week if that's more convenient for any of you. Let us know for sure. Feedback is always welcome. Let us know in the comments if you like the show, if you think it sucks, however you feel. Give us feedback. But I'm going to post the link right now in the comments.
Oh, you're bringing everybody in this early?
Yeah, we're going old school today.
It must be bye week.
All right, so it's going out. Success.
All right, so what are we getting into today? I think I'm the one that came out with the Twitter poll, right? You want to get into the Twitter poll real quick?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the Twitter poll, and we'll kind of go from there. And if anybody wants to jump in, feel free to click that link. You can join via video or audio. We'd love to have you and talk Cleveland Browns with you. Here we go. Also, let us know. We are live, so let us know if we sound good or if you're having any trouble hearing us or anything like that. That way we know. But Fatty, why are you shaking your head?
Or somebody has their mic off?
Yeah. Last week I had some technical difficulties with my mic, and by that I mean I just didn't have it set up properly. So
yeah,
I discovered it after the fact.
Told you that it sounded weird, and you didn't listen to me. And this is where we're at now. Yeah.
That's where we're at. All right, Twitter poll of the week, Fatty. Take it from here.
All right, so I brought out the Twitter poll of the week, and we only got 5 games left, and the way I see it is you got to beat Baltimore to have any chance at the playoffs. But I wanted the fans' reaction to this bye week and how the Browns have played up until it. What do you realistically think the Browns could go the last 5 games? We went 5-0, 4-1, 3-2, or worse. And I believe with that Twitter poll finale, I think 3-2 took it, did it not? Or did we have 4-1 sneak out?
So the results of the poll, 3-2 actually took the poll. Yeah. And to give you guys an idea of what the schedule looks like, if you haven't looked that far ahead, the AFC North as a whole has the toughest remaining schedule from a divisional perspective in the entire NFL. I believe all the opponents are over 500, but we have the Ravens, and then we move on to the Raiders, all right, then to the Packers, the Steelers, and the Bengals. So this is not an easy stretch. Now, we are completely used to playing a lot of divisional games late in the season, right? The NFL loves, especially that last week 17, or in this case, week 18 in moving forward, that's going to be the Bengals game. And it will probably have serious playoff implications. But they always love to stack us full of divisional games towards the end of the year. The Raiders, they've been kind of up and down. Frank, I'm not sure if Frank is a Browns fan. We welcome everybody here. 1-4. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. It is a tough schedule. 1-4 is probably just as possible as 4-1. There are no guarantees in these last 5 games. We know what we're up against with the Ravens. The Raiders have been pretty strong, even without John Gruden after his departure. The Packers look like the toughest game on the slate. And then the Steelers and Bengals to close out the season, they're also going to be fighting for a spot in the playoffs. And we play each other pretty tough historically. Unless you ask a Steelers fan, then they'll probably tell you that we don't play them tough. But, it's what it is. It's what it is. It's been better lately. It worked out well last year. All right, let us know in the comments, especially you Facebookers. I know not all of you guys are on Twitter. Some of you guys are YouTube, Facebook. Let us know in the comments what you think, how you think the Browns are going to finish out the season. 5-0, 4-1, 3-2, or worse. You can speak up just like Frank here. Frank said 1-4.
Craig, how do you feel?
I'm worried about.
So that's why I asked. Like, how do you feel? We haven't really talked all this week about it.
Robert Ray. Oh man. He says 0-5. Rob, I'm gonna hold it against you. I know you're a Browns fan. Too salty. Appreciate you watching the show, Rob. Frank, big Brown fan, named my youngest son Cleveland Matthew, 4-seat ticket holder, just being real. Good teams left. It's an outstanding schedule. Like I said, Frank, it's a toss-up. I mean, these are all good teams moving forward. And if they're not good, they're playing us tough. So Chris Span says 2-3, hates saying it. Ben Fanjoy says 3-2 won't cut it. We need 4-1 minimum. You guys are all right. You're all right. This isn't a gimme by any means. If we finish 3-2 or better, we have to give credit to the coaching staff and the personnel on the field for pulling this out, because this is going to be tough. The toughest game left on the slate. And let's just go ahead and say there's no COVID scenarios. There's no like weird stuff going on. Packers, right? That sticks out to me as the toughest game on the slate. And that's on Christmas Day. And we could have a rough Christmas Day, guys. Robert says, sorry, but if they don't adjust play calling, we won't win another game. They're so predictable. And Frank says, if Baker plays well, we can go 3-2 at best. There's a couple things that we need to happen, and we're going to get into that as the show progresses. There's some major personnel spots we have to pay attention to. Fatty, what's your opinion? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? What is your line of thinking here? How do you see the rest of the season going?
I mean, for them to do anything, they have to beat Baltimore right out of the gate. If they lose to Baltimore after this bye week, you might. Am I muted? No, I'm good. You might as well just chalk it up, because the season's done at that point in time, because you can't lose to Baltimore twice and come back and try to win a division. Right now, the best thing that happened was the Steelers won, and it keeps the AFC North kind of open. And guess what? You got 3 AFC North games left, and you got to win those 3. If you don't win those 3, you might as well just chalk it up to you don't have to win out. You don't have to go 5-0, but if you go 4-1, I think you have a chance of sneaking in, but you have to beat your division team. And, at that point in time, you're split between Baltimore, you're split between Pittsburgh, and then you own Cincinnati. You have 2 games up on Cincinnati. So at that point in time, we'll see what happens, but everybody kept joking around like, is Detroit a must win? Is this a must win? Is this a must win? No. This is truly the must win, because if you don't win, you're not going to the playoffs. That's it. That's done. If you do not beat Baltimore, you're not going to playoffs. I don't care what kind of other scenario happens. You're not going to the playoffs because you're not good enough at that point in time.
If the season ended today, the Browns would miss the playoffs. They are the 11th seed, and the playoff seeding goes down to 7. Ahead of us is the Raiders, the Colts, and the Steelers on the bubble. Steelers are the 8th seed. Above that, you have the Bills are the 7th seed, Bengals 6th, Chargers 5th, Chiefs 4th, 3 is the Ravens, Titans are 2, and Patriots are 1. We're going to get into the entire AFC playoff picture a little bit later with our all bark or all bite.
Yeah, don't give away our new segment already. What are you doing?
I'm contributing to the conversation, because these are all factors. You're saying, hey, this next game is a must win. If we don't get this next win, we're not getting in. I would agree with you a little bit. I still think there's a chance if we lose this game, but if we're going to go,
the reason why I say yes, there's still a chance after this game, but I think morale wise, you already played Baltimore. You got a bye week. You play Baltimore again. If you can't beat Baltimore 1 out of these 3 weeks, you know what I mean? Like, you already played them once. You have a bye week to prepare for them again. And if you can't beat them again, you might as well, the morale of the team will just go through the bottom floor into the basement. And I don't know if you can bring them back from that.
All right. So before we reveal the results, which we kind of already did, but before we go over the exact breakdown of the results, let's bring in friend of the show, the man, the myth, the bald legend, Justin Masters. How's it going, bud?
All right, how you guys doing?
Good. I'm going to do this zoomy thing that Fatty hates. He doesn't like the close up, but
No. It's not that I don't mind a close up, but our guest is always taken out by the Remax of Matt Blue.
Here, I got this. There we go. There we go.
Perfect.
I have better hair than Craig.
What do you say?
Do you? I guess I sometimes don't
I
wear
have
my
better
hat.
hair than Craig, so
Are you a ginger?
no.
Oh, then 0% chance. Anyways, what are your thoughts on the conversation we're having here? How do we finish out? What are your predictions moving forward?
I'm thinking 2-3 with an outside chance of 3-2. Like I think we'll win this game against Baltimore. I think we'll beat the Raiders. I think Cincinnati might be tough. We could possibly beat Green Bay.
That's going to be a tough task at Lambeau on Christmas Day.
Yeah, but it's time that we've had a high-profile game like that, though.
That is true. I'm actually kind of excited about that game because my wife goes, "What are we doing for Christmas?" I'm like, "I know what I'm doing for Christmas. I don't know what you're doing for Christmas."
What time is that game? Is that a 3:00 game?
I think 4.
4.
So which one are we talking about? Because I can tell you.
The Green Bay game, because you got Las Vegas
4:30 p.m.
4:30,
Yeah.
and the Raiders game is a night game on Saturday, right?
The Raiders is a Saturday afternoon game at 4:30.
Oh, it's an afternoon game. I thought it was a night game. Okay.
So that got flexed to Saturday. That could be an interesting game, and we've had some interesting contests with them over the past couple of years. We had the weather. Was that last year? Was the weather game pretty early on in the season? That was an interesting game, but surprisingly, they've held it together pretty well considering the departure of John Gruden amidst his scandal. But Christmas, I love and hate the fact that we have a Christmas Day game because there's nothing I'd rather do on Christmas Day than after opening the presents with the kids, eating a nice brunch, turning on a football game, and just sit next to the fire and watching football. But there's a real possibility we don't win this game. And that's not the Christmas gift you want, right? So,
it pairs well with Chinese food.
right.
And also, if you throw it out there, we did win a Christmas Eve match on the hands of Jamie Meter.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
The golden fingertips of Jamie Meter. So just throw that in there, right? Oh shit! Did I just see?
Oh man, he's trying to come in to collect. He's wondering when he's going to get his prize.
That's on you. I already paid off my prize.
I know. Well, he's going to get it. He's going to get it. All right, we have somebody waiting in the dog pen to join the show. He'll be on shortly if he gets connected here. But all right, somebody asked. It was Ben. Ben asked, "Why no Hollywood? Is there something more to him being a healthy scratch each week that I'm missing?" Chemistry, man. So realistically, the Browns front office and coaching staff has said, "Hey, this isn't indicative of something we have against Hollywood. This is a personnel decision." They elevated JoJo Natson to the active roster to handle some special team stuff. And they basically said, "Hey, we can use JoJo Natson on special teams more than we can use Hollywood on the bench." Now, here's the thing, because Fatty, I know you want to interject here, but realistically, I think Jamarcus Bradley has the Hollywood Higgins spot over Hollywood. All right.
That's what I was going to say. Why Jamarcus Bradley?
Right. So Jamarcus Bradley has that spot. And, but I do find it interesting that Hollywood is, I don't know if he's in the doghouse, but it seemed like it doesn't matter which coaching regime or front office regime is in Cleveland. He always finds himself trickling down to the bottom of the depth chart. And he might be in a doghouse. I don't know. No faith on Christmas. Aaron Rodgers will be the Grinch and toss 5 TDs on us.
So I'm going to go.
It's going to happen.
I'm going to go always positive J on that because guess what? The Grinch actually saved Christmas afterwards. So I think he's going to give us 5 interceptions. So
There you go.
we'll just flip it back on that one, negative Nancy, and we'll go from there.
I like that. I mean, he'll throw the 5 interceptions and give us 3 touchdowns because his heart goes three times size.
See? Got to do it. Has Jay come in yet, or what is he doing over there?
He's still just kind of hanging out there. He's got a blank screen. Always Positive Jay is in the green room somewhere without a camera. We are anticipating him coming in. I'm not sure if he's coming in or not. You want to message him, Fatty?
I will message him real quick. When Hollywood plays, we win.
Listen, the chemistry that Baker had with Hollywood last year was undeniable. He had chemistry. The problem is right now, our chemistry issues are bigger than Baker to Hollywood. They are way bigger than Baker to Hollywood. Can I deviate off subject here because I have to get your guys' opinion on something?
Of course. I mean, it's our show. We can do whatever the hell we want, right?
All right. So, and Robert, feel free to hit that link in the comments and join the show and talk about this with us. Kurt Warner did some interesting work this past week and broke down every Baker throw. And he basically said what I failed to say last week because, I mean, let's be honest. I tried sticking up for my guy Baker, and you guys just pummeled me to a pulp.
No.
Brad pummeled me to a pulp. Jared, you let it happen.
Well, of course I'm going to let it happen. Let it happen. Hey, this is the best part of it. Was Brad on fire?
You were Switzerland. You were Switzerland. But I got absolutely pummeled. Like, there was no winning that argument. But I feel a little bit better about my stance having the Kurt Warner breakdown go public this past week. And have you guys seen the Kurt Warner video? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, no. I get what you're talking about, but Baker still missed passes though.
It was a great video.
I haven't seen that yet.
You haven't seen it, Justin?
No, I have not.
So basically, Kurt Warner launched a video, and it started off with he broke down all the Baker passing plays in the first half. And he said, hey, listen, there's 2 guys open. All you guys are wondering why he didn't throw to these 2 receivers. Why did he throw to this guy? He broke down every play, what the reads were, in what order, the circumstances surrounding Baker's decision-making, and basically said, Baker can take a little bit of the blame, but this really isn't Baker's problem. Baker's not the problem. He said almost, and I'm nowhere near as smart as Kurt Warner, but he basically said the same thing as, hey, if he can get the ball to these guys and it hits both their hands, they should catch it. Other than that, this is why he made the right read. Here's why it didn't work, and here's why he didn't throw to the guys that you think he should have been throwing to. And I think that Kurt Warner really kind of put himself on a limb as being literally one of the only people on the face of the earth, other than this guy, to stand up for Baker, Reagan, Mayfield. And if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's you can find it on Kurt Warner's Twitter. I'm sure it's other places too, but
it's probably on YouTube by now.
Yeah, and it's not a real long video. I mean, it might be 7 or 8 minutes or something like that. But these guys have the all 22 tape. They can just kind of scroll through it, and it's kind of in an abbreviated format. But he does great explaining it. All right, we have another longtime viewer of the show, B Fanjoy, in the wings. Always Positive J, never made it. How's it going, bud?
Hey guys. Thanks for letting me.
Absolutely. How is it up north up there?
It's just as good as it is up there is down there. No, it's quite fine right now. We're gonna get a cold snap, but you guys have had snow so far.
You're in Canada, correct?
I am, but I'm East Coast. Right. We don't get the lake effect like you guys do.
Fatty.
I hate to like it.
I think, Craig, I think your take on Kurt's breakdown, I think, is 100% right. Reality is the game wasn't a good one for us. It just all around kind of stunk it up the whole way, except for D.
I appreciate that. And see, somebody out there is willing to say, hey, I stand with Craig and Kurt. You know, Craig said it first, Kurt backed him up, you know, and that's how it goes. But I appreciate that. Fatty.
But you and I
watched the video, right?
Okay. You and I both know that no matter what happens in Cleveland, when it comes to Baker Mayfield, it is black and it is white.
Right.
There is no gray area. All right. There is not like a little bit of gray area. Like you are either for Baker or against Baker. It doesn't matter what video comes out or who says what or whatever happens. There is no middle in this conversation. But I will be in the middle because I actually do believe in Baker Mayfield. I think he can do it. It's just I also think that we don't have the wide receivers to do it right now. You sit there, you look at all these high octane offenses with their wide receivers. I mean, look at OBJ. What has he done at LA? Nothing. He caught one touchdown. Well, he did that here too for like a year and a half. Like I don't understand. Like we don't have the quote unquote guy that can get completely open on a drive. And now with Njoku out, scares the shit out of me even more because we got two tight ends out and we're going with Hooper and then a whole bunch of wide receivers. So he's here. Do you want to bring him in?
I'm going to bring him in. And ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause to always positive Jay. How's it going, Jay?
Finally got this working. Apparently my new phone just I couldn't get it connected for some reason.
Oh, I should have got an iPhone. I'm just messing with
No.
you. But
God, no.
he says no.
By the way, Jay is also part of the Big Play Network, and you can catch him on the Voice of the Land on Sundays, which you guys had Cam Justice on. How is Cam? She's awesome, right?
Oh, she's the best, dude. She's so awesome. It was a true joy to have her on the show for sure.
We had a blast having her on a couple weeks ago. It was absolutely incredible. But I have to ask you, Jay, and moving past the fact that I owe you a T-shirt, the Kurt Warner video, what positives can you take away from the Kurt Warner video?
I didn't see it.
I was trying to throw you a loaded question and scoot past my debt, but all right. Fatty, did you see that?
I kind of saw that he was supporting Baker, and I usually, tend to listen to former NFL quarterbacks.
Okay, fair enough. Fatty, I know you had to have watched the video, right?
Dude, I've had sick kids, everything else. I haven't watched the video yet.
Okay, all right.
I kind of taken a sabbatical from all sports. I'm not going to lie. After that last loss, I haven't listened to RBS. I haven't listened to any podcasts. I did my podcast, and that was about it, dude. I've just been taking a nice my own sports bye week away from it all.
All right.
That was a hard one.
Yeah, I hate the Ravens, dude. Like more than the Steelers, more than any team ever. I hate the Ravens.
Well, I mean, that's really our team. Those are our Ravens.
Yeah, they stole my Super Bowl, so far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
Twice.
Exactly. Makes it worse.
Craig, send me the link.
The link?
You
want it on text?
Yeah, just send me the link of the Kurt Warner video.
Oh, the link to the Kurt Warner video.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But all right, so let's kind of backtrack a little bit here. Since you guys are all on the show now, we did our Twitter poll with 5 games left for the Browns. What do you see the record going in those 5 games? Justin, did we go? Forgive me if I'm lost. I'm multitasking over here. Did we get your opinion on this yet?
Yeah, it was 3-2, 2-3 with an outside chance of 3-2.
All right, Beef Anjoy, let's go with you. What do you think our record's going to be the last 5 games, and why?
Oh, I'm an eternal optimist. I gotta think. I am hoping for a 4-1. I think it's entirely possible. I think the week off is absolutely needed. And I think the guys are going to come back with a renewed sense of commitment, and we're going to take the Ravens and we're going to start rolling from there.
All right. And Jay, what do you think?
I'm just with this dude, man. It's awesome. You know me, I'm all about the positivity. I see us. We have to go 4-1, so I'm going to say we're going to go 4-1. And the one loss, I mean, playing in Green Bay on Christmas, that's going to be tough. So if we could only lose there, it's going to really help our cause because we got to win all the rest of our division games. That's for sure.
Tiebreakers.
So
Tiebreakers are important.
So I have deemed this: if they don't beat the Ravens this week, is the season done? I mean, what do you
I
got?
said it on the podcast. I'm out, dude. I'm not saying I'm not going to be a Browns fan, but I'm out on thinking anything positive is going to happen from the season. It is totally a must-win game.
Yeah, we need it.
He's going to change his name to. Will you change your name to Was Positive Jay?
No. He already,
Of course not.
He already did it once.
Did he?
Change it to like formerly known as Positive J?
Yeah. After the Ravens game, it was formerly known as Positive J.
All right. So I must have missed that somehow. But all right. Twitter poll of the week. Here's the results. 13% of voters said 13% chance we go, or 13% of voters said 5-0. 30%
I
said
voted on
4-1.
that.
What's that?
I voted 5-0.
Did you?
You think I wasn't going to take the most positive outcome?
The winner of the poll, 3-2, 32%. Worse than 3-2, 25%.
Wow.
They suck. Whoever voted for that, you suck.
You know, it's funny because I was expecting it to be more pessimistic than it was. I think if we would have had the same question last week, it would have been 99% worse. You know, it's a roller coaster in Cleveland, especially on Twitter. That if you guys aren't on Twitter, some of this does have Twitter does play a role in the results. Not that we don't want to join.
Even Brown's Therapy was wearing a bag on his head for a while.
We would still encourage all of you Facebookers and YouTube people to join Browns Twitter. It is by far the most interactive community around the Browns when it comes to social media. The world kind of revolves around that in the Twitterverse. But yeah, I think a week ago the results would have been much different, much more pessimistic. So before we move on, because I want to talk about some positional type things, are you ready, Fatty, for our dog of the week?
Of course.
All right, let's do it. All right, so it is dog of the week because we didn't have the game. So we don't have our offensive and defensive dogs of the week like we usually do. But we have partnered with City Dogs of Cleveland, and every week we give you a dog of the week. It's a featured adoptable dog. You can get a hold of the City Dogs of Cleveland. We'll give you their contact information, or you can reach out to us and we'll help connect you with them. And we can get some of these dogs out of the shelter and into their forever home. And here's this week's dog of the week. He is no stranger to the show. Unfortunately, he has not been adopted yet. And we are bringing to you once again, Kavan. And Kavan is a male. He's almost 3 years old. He's playful, sweet, and snuggly. He is friendly. He's smart. He knows how to sit. He's working on stay. He loves toys. He's a good walking partner. Likes to sniff and explore, good in the car, loves the wind in his fur, and he seems to be housebroken very well. There is a couple more pictures of Kavan. He is available for adoption at the City Dogs of Cleveland. And here's how you reach City Dogs of Cleveland. At City Dogs CLE on Twitter and on Facebook. It's at City Dogs Cleveland. You can reach them by phone at 216-664-3476. And again, if you have any trouble getting a hold of them or would like us to connect you with them, get a hold of us personally, and we'll help connect you with them. It would be the least that we could do to help these dogs out. And if you're at the stadium this Sunday, Section 121, there's a concession stand. All the proceeds from that concession stand go to City Dogs of Cleveland. So the same goodies you would get at the other concession stand, go to this one. The proceeds will benefit Kevon and the other dogs at City Dogs of Cleveland. So, Kevon, I'll show him one more time. He is up for adoption. He's been
He
featured.
is such a good looking dog too.
I know.
Oh,
Very
that's a
good-looking
beautiful
dog.
coat.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Well,
coat.
we just got a message from Beth. We retweeted on our Twitter page of all the dogs that were adopted the past few weeks. Unreal the amount of support that they have gotten. I think it was like 20 dogs were adopted in the past couple weeks. So anything you guys can do to help out, even if you just want to donate $20, $5, it doesn't matter. Help them out because they're doing a great cause.
Yep. And so City Dogs of Cleveland, and let us know if you need help getting in touch with them. Again, we don't have
Great
our
Christmas gift.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So
I know everyone's struggling, like, oh, what should I get? What should I get? Get a new family member, man.
Yeah.
Get with it.
Put a bow on his head. He'd make a perfect gift.
exactly.
Oh my
I
god.
know.
A
I've
lifetime
rescued-
supply of hugs and kisses from the
Yes.
dogs.
All right. So we have a couple storylines coming out of the bye week before we get into our Ravens preview. And I think the maybe question marks more than storylines, but the biggest hole on our roster right now is, in my opinion, right tackle. Would you agree or disagree, Fatty?
Oh, I disagree.
You disagree? What about you guys?
I want to hear what he's got to say.
Who, me or Fatty?
Fatty.
Well, I mean, Hans has done it. I mean, he's done it on the left side. He's protected the left
He
side.
ain't
Right
even
now,
starting.
who's starting?
We don't know yet.
Hudson's getting the start, I think.
Is
I
it?
don't, I
I'm
don't
pretty
know
sure
that.
Hudson's going to be trying starting, but I think he's going to have a short leash from what I'm hearing.
So I didn't see any
Aaron Moore, maybe?
confirmation.
Never mind. I didn't
didn't-
know what was happening.
No, it's
I
not
didn't-
confirmed. It's not confirmed. Don't get me wrong.
So
But
basically,
I'm pretty sure the person that said that, I think it's that Brad. I forget his last name on Twitter. Dude never gets anything wrong. And
Brad Ward.
Yeah.
No, not Brad Ward.
Stainbrook?
Something else. Yes, thank you.
so essentially the front office and the coaching staff, they were asked, hey, like, who's playing right tackle? Is it Hans's job? And they said, no, we're not committing to Blake. And here's the problem. James Hudson, who would be the presumed, he would be presumed to be the one starting in Blake's spot. He hasn't always performed very well either. And arguably Blake has performed better than James ever has. Here's what puzzles me a little bit. All right, go ahead, Fatty. Go ahead before I throw something out there.
Just curious question, because I mean we've joked around like Batonio going out to left tackle and all that other crap. I mean, is there a chance that Hans goes to right guard and Teller goes out to right tackle?
I personally don't think so.
I'm just asking the question.
I don't think so, but what surprises me is that we haven't gone in and dipped into Ghosts of Christmas Past and swooped up the number one free agent on the market, which is Mitchell Schwartz, presuming he's healthy enough to play. That's what I would have liked to have seen during the bye week. I think that we're far enough in the process that we can't have that happen. But I think even a 70% Mitchell Schwartz would be better than 120% Blake Hance. I'm just saying, and he's out there. But
did we not burn that bridge when we didn't re-sign him? Does he actually want to come back to Cleveland?
different. That was 18
Different
front offices
regime.
ago.
I mean, if he wants a job, he wants to come back.
Yeah, I mean, there's that too. We have the.
Familiar, it's a very familiar area. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. That's awesome. That'd be a great move for them, I think.
And it's something that he's out there, and I know there's some injury concerns, and some of it would factor into how healthy he is, but we're far enough along that that's not going to happen. And I think the biggest hole on our roster right now, in any phase of the game, is right tackle. I think it's affecting Baker. I think it's affecting a lot of things, even the run game. So what do you guys think? Should we start Blake? Should we give Hudson a shot? What do you think?
I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter at that point. If you give the kid a shot and he's not doing good, you put Blake in.
Yeah.
Blake, start Blake and he sucks, you put in the other kid. I mean,
I think Blake's played.
It's going to be rough with our tight ends out too, man. It's going to be rough.
I understand. I think Blake's played it enough so far this year that it's got to give you at least a little bit more confidence than Hudson. But that's also they got a bye week too, so they might have actually worked Hudson hard just to play right tackle.
Look, from what I'm hearing is he's been practicing much, much, much better, and he is a rookie with probably more upside. So he could have gotten better, obviously, but we haven't seen him for a while, so we don't really know. I mean, we're all just speculating from hearsay.
Yeah, it's a tough time to play with upside too. You know, we're still on the bubble.
Yeah.
There's still a chance. But you know, fortunately it's on the right side, not the left. It's still not ideal, but Beef Enjoy, any input on this?
I mean, we're another man down. We need to groom people that are tackles that are out there, and we got to give them a go. I agree. I think that you always have Hans that's sitting there waiting to go. If not, right? You know, I love the Mitchell Schwartz throw out, but I don't know who's left that even knows him. I mean, really, we got Batonio and Treader maybe that played with him, and who's left, even in front office, that knew him.
Right. So a bridge might have been burned. I don't think it is from a city perspective, and it's a different front office. But who knows? Maybe he's ready to hang him up. I don't know. But
before we get back to Justin, we got to get back to Justin because Robert Ray brought this. Justin, what is going on with the purple and the?
I was thinking the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, man, all that purple is getting me angry over here.
I'm in the process of repainting this room. It's going to be my office, library, city, whatever. But
so you're going to paint Ravens colors of all things?
Do what?
You're going to paint it Ravens colors of all things?
I'm not thinking about that. I read something a year or two ago that purple helps induce brain function. So if I'm going to use it as a study or office or whatever, I want to be able to think.
We obviously know brown and orange does not do that. I watched 12 people get on the field after a timeout. Brown and orange does not infuse brain activity at all.
Fun fact, Robert Ray is a realtor with Remax Edge Realty. And if you look hard enough, you can find him on HGTV. So we have a TV star in the midst. Rob, thanks again for watching. Appreciate you commenting.
Why would he show his face if he's on TV?
His face is right there.
No. On here. Here.
I don't know. But I'm just giving him a hard time, TV star. But I love Rob. So, yeah. All right. So, Fatty, you said right tackle's not the biggest weakness on this team. What is the biggest weakness?
Right now, tight end. You got too many tight ends out. I mean, you got Njoku, who's your leading wide receiver. He leads you in yards. You're left with Hooper. Bryant's out. And guess what? You got nobody to back him up. Nobody to block for Chubb. Nobody to block for Hunt. That kind of scares me more than the wide receivers do. And even though the wide receivers are suspect as is, having those two guys out kind of scares me a little bit more. I think right now the tight ends are kind of I worry. I really worry about this game.
All right. Do any of you guys think that it's a different position group that's our weak spot?
Wide receivers.
Wide receiver, fair enough.
It's been wide receivers all year long since Jarvis has been hurt. DPJ started stepping up. Boom, he gets hurt. Odell, let's not even talk about that. I mean, they can't even start Hollywood Higgins for who knows whatever reason. You got like, remember when at the beginning of the year we were supposed to have like these awesome receiving core,
Oh, DPJ. And
Why does it feel like
we
old
thought we had
school
Randy
receiving
Moss,
core again?
You know,
The drop passes are driving me insane, you guys.
here's another free agent that's out there. A guy by the name of Damian Ratley.
Oh yeah, he could stay out there.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
You don't think that there's a
We've done that. I don't need Donovan Mitchell. I don't need Damian Ratley. I need Clarissa Olave next year.
Oh no! Here we go with the Ohio State bias.
No, I'll take any of those good receivers. I was just throwing out one.
Okay.
Hey,
I don't even know the names. I don't pay attention to other colleges, so I only know the receivers' names from Ohio State.
I'm just giving you shit, Jay. I'm just giving you shit.
What do you think about Baker throwing too hard? Those comments. Oh my God.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
You hit him in the hands.
These guys, listen.
You get paid millions of dollars. Your job is to catch the damn ball. Like
Exactly.
that's your job. You catch the ball. If you can't do it, get the hell out of here.
How about this, Baker? If you're throwing so damn hard, I want unnecessary roughness stuff. I want you to hit right here in the helmet, and then just stick there.
That's
right in the schnoz, Marv.
It's funny that we give him, criticism for that, but there are legendary stories that the legendary quarterbacks have been praised for. There is the Elway cross. Brett Favre was dislocating fingers. I'm just saying, I understand the quarterbacks need to have touch. The fact that he's throwing it too hard, stop.
Hey, he's throwing it hard for a reason because
he's
catching the first down.
Justin, go ahead. I'm sorry I cut you off.
It wasn't Justin. It was me with.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I really don't remember what I was going to say, but I'm going to get here, guys. I got to get to bed and get up early. It was a pleasure. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Justin. By the way, paint that room something other color. Don't do purple.
Just don't add black.
Anything else. Don't even do black because of Steelers.
No.
You can pick any other color. Why don't we go with Kansas City Chiefs? Why don't we go with those colors?
I'm really liking how it's turned out, though.
I know, because you look
Put
like a
gold
Ravens.
in there. That was my high school colors. They were terrible.
Justin, thank you, bud.
All right, have a good night, guys.
You, bud.
Later, man.
All right, so we're down to 4. All right, so power rankings. Pro Football Talk came with power rankings, and I want to share a quote. Mike Florio, he's probably a closet Steelers fan. I've thought this for probably 15 to 20 years now, but here's what he had to say about the Browns. Coach Kevin Stefanski is considering using both Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt at the same time. Some Browns fans approve of the approach, especially if one of them will be playing quarterback. We are ranked number 19 behind the Steelers, Bengals, and Ravens. Is part of the problem that we're not putting Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt on the field at the same time?
No, and they don't need to be playing quarterback either. What the hell was that?
So,
when you went there, I was like, what? Yeah, Nick Chubb throwing dimes out there to Kareem Hunt, of course.
Right.
I do think that you're missing some plays with both of them out there, but that's not like the go all be all. But I would like to see a handful of plays of both of them out there, like 7 plays.
I agree.
Whether they be in the shotgun with Baker, one of them flexes out, or however you got to do it, or a sweep coming across. I mean, those two are your best players. I just got to see what is happening because you're putting Jamarcus Bradley out there instead of either Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt. Like, let's take a step back, people. Come on. Like, you have 2 offensive weapons that are legit offensive weapons, and they can't be on the field.
They're your 2 best offensive weapons right now. The 2 best offensive weapons are your running backs.
And they can't be on the same field at the same time. Why?
I don't know. Kareem Hunt, he's so good at receiving. I'd put him in the slot all the time.
And Jay's onto something here, and I would go a step further, and with the exception of something that Brad made a point of last week, Demetric Felton. You
Yeah,
threw him in there at
Felton.
the end of the game cold. He wasn't warm at the end of the game there. But Kareem Hunt and Demetric Felton could be weapons in this passing game. And some of the production that we're lacking from the tight end and receiving room when it comes to productivity and dependability can be made up in the passing game. And I think Kareem Hunt and Demetric Felton could be a big part of that. Something that Frank just said here about last year's play calls and setups, the play action. You get the run game going. And it was almost like last year we were watching the games and we were following along and we said, all right, we may have only gotten 2 yards on that play, but the next quarter, that play that had been run a quarter before was a complete setup for success on another play. And we were kind of stacking the deck in the first and second quarter. And then in the third and fourth quarter, we were using those plays to really make moves on offense. And I think we're missing a little bit of that. However, and I'm probably talking in circles here because I have a lot going through my mind right now with my ADHD, but some of this goes back to the Kurt Warner video again. The play calling, Kurt Warner, Jared, you can roll your eyes all you want, but Kurt Warner is also defending the play calling to an extent because it only takes one link in the chain to be broken. And in my opinion, it's the pass catchers.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I don't know. All right,
it's
so
Baker
I have
too.
one
Don't get it
advocate.
wrong. It's both. Like you're right.
Yeah.
The receivers are dropping balls at an alarming rate this year, and then there's times where Baker's sailing it high too, or a little low, and every time that happens, you kill a drive. That's 20 more plays you could have passed, or 5 more plays you could have had. You're just killing yourself when you drop passes. It drives me insane, dude. I hate it more than anything a team can do. Second, probably to only holding calls.
Jay, I wish you were on the show last week. Brad Ward buried me 1,600 feet under with that argument.
He did not bury you. He just
What's the quick
I love
recap?
Brad
What do you mean?
I
Well,
tried sticking up for Baker last week, and I got murdered in the argument like 80,000 times. Like I
you
was.
did not. You're over exaggerating.
I'm giving Brad credit because I could not argue. I could not argue my stance.
You just sat here and took it.
I didn't
But,
sit
like,
there and take it.
But the thing is what we're talking about with Baker, with everything else, with all this other stuff, the one glaring thing that is happening with this team is third down. We cannot stop
Both
a third
ways.
down. We cannot make a third down. And guess what? That is coaching. You got 3rd and 12, and you cannot stop at 3rd and 12 to give your offense the ball back. And guess what? You got 3rd and 5, and you're still throwing short of the third down. That is coaching. That is not the players.
Anything is
And then
possible.
when you do it, when you set yourself up for a nice short third down, you get a holding call. Now it's 3rd and 12.
Yeah.
Or
and
you stop them
penalties.
on 3rd down, but then it's like a pass interference. Like you keep shooting yourself
Or
in the
false
foot.
start.
And
Or a
this
false
is
start.
the beautiful thing about all this is these are all really fixable things. They're so fixable. Everything that their biggest problems are extremely fixable.
Hey,
The hard
guys,
thing is, like, talent they have. They got the talent to go 5-0 for the rest of the season. But if they clean up just half those penalties, drop a third of those passes, you just clean up every little nuances that you're doing wrong, all those close games you're supposed to win or losing that you're not winning, you're going to start winning those.
Hey, listen, Ravens' pursuit from the box against our run was like brutal, right?
Yeah.
They were all over it. But one thing that I kept coming back myself to during the game was how many reverses did we do?
Okay, and I brought that up too because at that point in time, if they're loading the box up that much, there's wide receiver screens you could do. There's other stuff that you can do. Craig is Dawgs got chalk. There's other things you can do to kind of niche that, but you just gave up the run. I mean, you just gave it up. You didn't even try. You didn't do anything else. You just gave it up and said, guess what? We're going to try to beat you passing. And Baker Mayfield throwing 37, 38 times is not going to win you the game, especially when your top 2 running backs get 40 yards. I mean, I've watched college do it. I've watched everybody else do it. It's not that hard to throw a bubble screen out to a wide receiver, even if it's juice, or a tight end screen, or just anything to get it out and about on the outside and not stuff it in the middle. It doesn't matter how you do it. Even a quick slant will do it. But they did not do it that way. And I don't know why they didn't do it that way. But that was a huge thing. Yeah, they're going to throw 9 in the box. I'd still run at them. I mean, look what the Patriots did against Buffalo.
I was just going to do that. I was just going to bring that up.
Straight at them.
There was weather conditions. They straight up said, you can't pass the ball today. God said no. And the Patriots, they were lining up just like the Baltimore or Bills were lining up the Baltimore was. What happened the one time that they broke through? No one was there to stop Devin Harris. He ran it all the way. Do we have a running back on this team that's capable of making long runs? Oh, wait, we have 2.
And they were
when someone's going to sit there and say, I'm going to stop the run and I'm going to make you pass it, say, screw you, dude. I'm going to run it on you even if you're trying to. Because when something's hard and you can't break through, you got to keep pounding. You got to keep pounding it. You got to keep pounding it. Eventually, you break through.
And the other thing I wanted to bring up to you guys is I brought it up on my other show. You know, you sit there, you watch Baker under center. Obviously, Baker's not moving that great, right? Right. But why not put him in a shotgun? Chubb and both Hunt know how to run out of a shotgun. And at that point in time, you got Baker Mayfield in a shotgun who can throw a screen pass out to Jarvis, whoever's blocking. If they're going to throw 9 in the box, guess what? Let him play man-to-man outside. One of those wide receivers can break a tackle. I've seen Peoples-Jones do it. I've seen Schwartz do it. I've seen Jarvis do it multiple times. Even if it's a tight end out there, you know, just do it to stretch it out to give you a little bit of room. Just a little bit. All you need is an inkling of room because Chubb can hit that hole and go.
Yep. Big time. And the cutbacks, he sees daylight. He's off and running.
I love Nick Chubb. I love Nick Chubb so much. I want a Nick Chubb t-shirt.
Weird. I wonder where you're going to get one of those. Who's going to get you a GBR Nick Chubb t-shirt? I lost a bet. I always positive J1. I bet against the Browns. And which game was that? Was that the Lions game? Cincinnati game. We didn't talk about this.
I didn't need them.
We didn't talk about this, Chris. Marlon Humphrey's out for the year.
So both starting corners out now for the whole year. Peters and him.
That's huge. We need to get separation.
And he gives us hell every time he plays us. I respect him, but I can't stand him.
He's a biological terrorist.
He is.
He is.
He disgusts me.
He's, we're all masking up, and he's like hawking loogies at Browns players. But I guess that was last year. What the hell? I hold a grudge. Speaking of me giving people things, I owe Jay a t-shirt. Ben, you got the cards in the mail, right?
I did. Thank you very much, guys. Man, that's fantastic. Love
it. They arrived nice and safe and sound and in good condition.
Thank you very much.
All right. So those of you watching, our giveaways are real. Ben can attest to that. Jason Hand of the Browns Huddle can testify to that. We've had other giveaways.
Red
Leg can attest to that. Our giveaways are real. We follow through.
By the way, I'm trying to organize a watch party with all other podcasts that we all got going. A big, huge podcast party, and obviously anyone that listens to any of our shows. So be ready for that last Steelers game.
We were talking, and I think it would be really fun if we could get everybody together. I think it would be fun to also go live, do almost like a concert lineup.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And just we can set up some mics, and of course we have our live stream capabilities. Jared and I go live from bars once a month or so.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We
Oh,
can
with
line
all
it
those
up. We can
podcasters, you know, someone wants to get on a mic.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's nothing more fun than in our last live show got cut short because we had some Wi-Fi difficulties and you can't do anything without the internet, right? But like we had the Here We Go Brownies chance in the bar. We were buying rounds for all the patrons. Labatt Blue came up big for us as far as giveaways and things like that. We always have a blast. So I think that would be something fun to set up in
What
the
bar
Cleveland.
was that?
We'll talk behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually went to it was The Office is what it was called, and it was it's also owned by a pizza company called, I think it was a Slice Above Pizza, and they had some amazing
They're really
pizza. Absolutely. So we went in there and set up and we had an absolute blast. We bought everybody drinks. Labatt did giveaways, and we try to schedule something once a month. So keep tuned. Stay tuned. We have one coming up for December that we'll announce shortly. We already have January and February lined up, I believe. So, and we may have some extra bonus ones in there occasionally as well. We love doing the live shows, actually getting out, talking with the fans, talking football, even when the camera's off. We absolutely love it. Jay, we've run into you at tailgates and things like that. We love doing those too. So it's always been fun. But
Well, guys, I just want to let you know that I do have to get out of here. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll talk about this podcast party thing, whatever we want to call it.
All right. Sounds good. Appreciate you joining the show, Jay.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right. You too. All right. So there is always positive Jay. Jared has disappeared momentarily, but all right. I got to ask, what are your predictions going into this week? We got Baltimore. We're at home. The Browns are, believe it or not, 2.5-point favorites right now.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? What do you think is going to happen here?
Let's put it this way: we got to get out to a quick start. No question there. I think it's. I think we got to get out, get a good start, and we need to run the ball right down their throat and use play action to get them weakened up a little bit. I know they're going to be focusing on what they can do to keep their corners safe too, right?
Yeah.
So and we really shouldn't abandon our run. We got too much talent there to ignore it, and we gotta do something. I love the idea of maybe having the wishbone with the two of them out there. And I think that I'd love to see it, but we can't abandon it. We gotta get out there and be creative and work our magic. We need to get it. We need to get the gel going.
Eddie, we're 2.5-point favorites. What do you think about that?
We're what?
2.5-point favorites versus the Ravens at home.
That means a coin flip. That honestly means a coin flip to me. At that point in time, they look at the Ravens, especially after Seals' game, and it's coin flip. I mean, that's what it was during our game. I mean, we had our chance to do it. We just didn't finish it off. So they're looking at these two teams as equal teams. And you know something? It's going to be a close game unless something magical happens where it's like the Cincinnati game where they come off the bye week and they just light it up like crazy. But I have a feeling it's going to be a lot closer game than what people think. We joked around about it on our show earlier, but I mean, it's going to be a defensive game, and you just can't let Lamar do this stupid things that Lamar does and gets away with it. Like, the deep passes to Mark Andrews after he scrambled for 10 yards. I mean, those are the things that you got to kind of clean up.
And late in the fourth, who's the team that believes in themselves?
Exactly. And at that point in time, that's a offensive thing that we have to get over too, especially for the Browns. I mean, it's the fourth quarter. You got to take control of that quarter. I mean, you got to take control of both the offensive and defensive line and impose your will on them. I mean, I know it's cliche, but you actually have to play like that against these teams, because if you don't, you're going to lose to them.
Yeah. Belichick was famous for just putting the foot in the gas and keeping it on and anytime somebody shows life, step on it again, right?
Exactly.
All right, so I am thinking that Chris is referring to Calais Campbell, but I'm not 100%. Calais Campbell, I believe, is playing. I think he played last week too.
Yes, he did.
But trying to think who else was out that game. Calais Campbell's an N, though.
He said yes.
Okay. Oh, he did? Okay. Yeah, that, I mean, he could play a role, especially with the question marks at right tackle. So my prediction for the Baltimore game is going to be, well, first let's go to our offensive key to the game. Wide receivers have to catch the ball, and we need to stick to the running game. Those are my two keys to the game. It's pretty simple. Catch the ball if it's thrown to you and it's on target, and don't abandon the run game even if things get tough. That is my offensive key to the game. What about you guys?
Good.
Juice.
Get Juice involved. I love it. He's the guy in the receiving room. You want the ball in his hands, right?
Third down converts.
All right. Third down efficiency. Fatty, what do you think?
My offense key of the game are running backs.
Yeah.
They have to show up this game. And I don't care if they run it 45, 50, 60 times. Right now, you got 5 games left. This is the healthiest they have been since the start of the season. Ride them all the way to the end zone.
All right. So Chris says offensive key is misdirection.
Don't disagree with that.
Oh, no, I don't disagree with that either. But, I mean, they know what you're going to do. But, you know something? There's one of those times that if they know what you're going to do,
Exactly.
just shove it down their throat and impose your will. Because if they're going to load 9 in the box, this is the best thing if they're going to load 9 in the box and try to stop you from running, and you get 10, 12, 8, 10, 9, 8, 7, 8, 10, that is going to demoralize that defense more than anything else, than a big play or anything like that, because they're trying to stop you and they can't.
Yep.
And how many times have we heard, especially when we're up in a game, opponents know we're running the ball and we run it anyways, and we're successful at it. If you can't run to the right or run it up the middle, run to the left. Just do it. Whatever is working, just keep doing it. Keep doing it. I don't, if it's second and long, or if you have a third and medium type play, I mean, I'm not opposed to running it. We're passing it on first down. Run it on first down. Who cares if they know we're running it on first down? By this point, they should be assuming we're passing it on first down, right?
2 yards, 3 yards is 2 yards and 3 yards. It doesn't matter. It makes
We're
it
halfway there. We're halfway there.
2 and 7 instead of, second and 7 instead of first and 15.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, just downhill. I want this team downhill, ears pinned back, downhill.
Pancake day.
See, there he is. I love pancake, by the way.
Defensive key to the game. I think I want to see pretty much an identical performance to last week. It's not the defense's fault we didn't capitalize on turnovers. Chances are they're not going to be able to replicate the success they had the last time we played Baltimore. But if we get even close, it's a success. I mean, Lamar wasn't having his way. We were getting turnovers. I'd like to see us just try to get as close to as possible of having a repeat of that game. Doesn't matter how we do it. That's just what we got to do.
Yeah.
Daddy?
I'm waiting on you. You go ahead, big guy.
Yeah. The defense is, I got to feel the gel's out, right? It's starting to happen. And, I think that the guys had a really good game plan. I think it's pretty hard to look around and scheme around it too. I'd like to see a little bit more out of our defensive tackles, though, to be honest with you.
I would too.
Yeah, I think the guys got the talent, but we need to see just a little bit more, right?
All right. And Chris says limit crazy big plays on D. I'm with you. I hate Lamar. I think we can all agree we dislike Lamar by
now,
default.
The defensive game plan was like it was last week or last time they played, with the exception, get on Mark Andrews. That is Lamar Jackson's safety blanket.
Safety net. Yeah, big time.
Because it's not the wide receivers and it's not running backs. So if he can't run it, he's going to throw it to Mark Andrews. There's nobody else on that field he's going to throw to except Mark Andrews. So you have two people you have to take out of this game, Andrews and Lamar. That's it.
Yep.
And here's what's crazy. All 4 of our interceptions, those throws were targeted to Mark Andrews. However, the big plays that we gave up were Hail Mary prayers thrown up by Lamar under pressure. So, like, even if you're successful, you're still going to give something up. But we have to contain Lamar to Mark Andrews.
Hey, listen, Ward's going to be super. He's going to have something out there for the game too. He felt like that was his responsibility. Came right out and said it, and it won't happen again.
All right, prediction time. Let's go to predictions. I will go last. Mr. Fanjoy, let's go to you.
27-21.
Browns?
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Fatty.
You're on the record. This is going to be a weird game, and I got to piggyback off of my show. Yeah. 16-9 Cleveland.
16-9 Cleveland. All right.
What's the weather like?
As of right now, it's actually supposed to be decent out here in Cleveland, but I still can't trust Cleveland to score more than 7 points.
Yeah, wait 15 minutes.
Speaking of weather, did you guys see the Monday Night Football game last night?
Ooh,
was that not insane? And then the clips going around Twitter today, especially of the Bills-Browns game. The Bills-Browns game, the snow game.
Oh, yes. Right.
With Phil Dawson nailing that field goal, it just, I'm just waiting for another one of those winter classics. It's not going to be this week, though.
Did you see Buffalo's kicker try to make a 35-yard field goal into that win?
In pregame.
In pregame. Yeah. Back towards him?
Yeah. They asked him, they said, hey, how far out are you comfortable kicking from? He said, max extra point. Max.
You know what the thing was? As soon as I saw the opening kickoff, and it went 12 rows deep into the
right. If it's going with the wind, yeah.
I knew it was getting real at that point in time.
And then leave it to Belichick. He's like, we've played in way worse winds. Meanwhile, Mac Jones throws it 3 times. Three. And Belichick's like, it's whatever. We
had
played
a great
way worse. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns, and lately I've been kind of a Debbie Downer. I've been picking against the Browns, which I hate doing because I have to root against myself.
Because your face otherwise.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns 21-19.
Oh, wow.
I think Baltimore's got one. Justin Tucker's going to have four field goals, and they're going to score a touchdown, and then we're going to get 21 points. It's what's going to happen. So,
all right.
I guess you could say Baltimore. I'll take Baltimore against the spread because we're 2.5-point favorites, but we get the real win. So,
yeah, I'll take the real win any day. Season is balance, man.
Hey, all right. It's not college. You don't need. It doesn't have to be pretty. All you gotta do is win.
Doesn't have to be pretty. All right, Ben Fanjoy, we appreciate you joining the show. We're going to close the show out. Please join us anytime in the future. You're available. We love talking with you. And all of you can join us just like Mr. Fanjoy did and talk Browns with us. We appreciate you joining the show. Thank you very much. Glad those cards got to you safely. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Go Browns.
Thanks again.
Go Browns.
All right. So we are going to close out the show. Man, we had segments lined up and everything we didn't even get to.
We didn't even get to the new segment. You started it off and then you just kind of shut it down.
Let's
do it next week. Do you want to do it now real quick?
All right, real quick.
We'll just do it. Hey, instead of Fatty's on fire, we'll just do a Fatty's hot seat of this.
All right. All right.
I
So
love
this
the video,
is
by the way. That's awesome.
this is all bark or all bite, and this is an occasional segment, not necessarily an every week segment. We've kind of tried to get into this. I think the last time we got into this was when we were live, and that's when the Wi-Fi cut out, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna kind of throw some things out there. Might be players, might be teams, and we're just gonna say whether or not they're all bark or all bite.
I'm just going to say, you're throwing it to me.
Go for it.
No. What do you think? You got to throw me a team.
Baltimore,
Oh, all bark.
Pittsburgh,
All bark.
Ben Roethlisberger.
All bark.
I think this is his last year. At least that's what he's telling people, according to Adam Schefter.
I mean, it went to Adam Schefter. So, yeah, this is his last year. Keep going.
Right? Lamar Jackson.
All bark.
How about this? Let's venture outside the AFC North. Let's talk about some playoff stuff. Patrick Mahomes.
All bite. I can't.
All
I can't. That guy, no matter what happens, he can start out sloppy and he just finds a way. I don't know what he does. I don't know if it's voodoo or whatever it is, but yeah, I'm going to go all bite on Patrick Mahomes.
He's got that Jackson Mahomes energy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So let's go with something, another fan base that's struggling to kind of keep a hold of what's going on. Josh Allen.
Oh, all bark.
All bark. What about the Bills in general?
All bark.
All right, we have rookie
They
phenom.
they don't have a running game. And
Sure.
and you know something? At that point in time, watching it, yes, their defense is okay. They're off right now. They let the Patriots with a rookie quarterback, no name running backs, and no name wide receivers beat them. So I'm going to go right now all bark because you started out strong and then you kind of nosedive. So next one.
All right, rookie phenom Mac Jones.
Oh my Lord! All
Number
bite.
one seed. Number one
All
seed if they ended up today. If playoffs ended.
You know something?
started
All
today.
bite. You want to know why? Because he's got a head on his shoulders.
Right.
I hate to say it because it's Belichick, but the kid doesn't do anything wrong. Like, what do you want me to do here? Like, this is like Bill Belichick's best pick ever that he had in the first round because nobody thought Mac Jones would be this good, and he is because he doesn't make mistakes. He does what he has to do to win, and guess what? It's not flashy. He's not throwing for 400 yards to 900 wide receivers. He's doing what he has to do to win, and guess what? It's not college. He's winning.
All right. So if the season ended today, the second seed in the playoffs would be the Tennessee Titans. And they've been on as much of a roller coaster as we have. Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans, all bark or all bite?
Is there a middle or no?
No. I mean,
I'm going to go all bark. I think Henry has a lot to do with what they're doing, but I still like Vrabel as they're weird. They're weird, and they lose their top running back, who's second right now, right? Second right now. NFL rushing. He hasn't played since week 7, 8.
Right. And they're getting production out of Brown's cast off, Dontrell Hilliard.
So I'm going to go bite because I like the coach. Damn it. I don't want to do it, but I do.
All right. Two more playoff teams if the season ended today we need to talk about, and then one that's not. The LA Chargers and Justin Herbert. All bite or all bark?
All bark, because the reason why is they're too inconsistent. They're kind of like the Browns right now. Like, they have a game where they can go out and just light it up like crazy, but then they have a game where they kind of just let it go. So it's still too inconsistent for me. I like them. I like what they're doing out there, but it's still not there yet.
All right. And the Cincinnati Bengals, the only AFC North team we haven't talked about.
First off, it is the Northern Kentucky Bengals.
Okay.
We've had to talk about this.
Yeah.
And right now, I gotta say they're all bite. They're actually playing really good football right now. The offense is playing good. The offensive line sucks, but their defense is even playing good. And they're a scary team to play coming up. They're one of the sneaky teams that if they get in the playoff, I wouldn't want to play them.
I thought everybody knew Cincinnati was in Northern Kentucky. I apologize.
Well, with exception of French.
Um,
For some odd reason.
Hopefully we'll hear more from French. He keeps working his way up the corporate ladder, and he's going back to hours that would allow us to do some podcasting and some guesting. So hopefully we'll see him on the show.
I miss him. Jacksonville sucks.
Can't wait to tell him about it. All right, last one.
All right.
Last one. Carson Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts. They are seated ahead of us if the playoffs started today. All bark or all bite. You got Carson Wentz, Jonathan Taylor.
I'm going to go all bark because I think they figured out finally who they are, and it's Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
I really do. I think that one with Wentz just managing the game and Jonathan Taylor, especially what has he got, like 10 straight times of rushing touchdowns and 100 yards.
Yeah,
I think they kind of figured out who they are and the mixed mosh that they got. I gotta hate to say that.
Pittman doesn't cut it as a number one either.
No, but it's just
No.
I think it's Jonathan Taylor is the big key to it.
It's the Jonathan Taylor Colts. That's all it is.
Exactly. I think that's what it is. But I mean, I gotta give them credit because they're doing great. They really are. And it kind of took me a little step back on that one. I can't believe he came with that one of all teams.
All right. So we'll keep this going as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. We'll talk about different players, different teams as situations change and the playoff race is kind of coming into light. All bark or all bite is a new segment we'll be going over every once in a while. Anything you want to bring to the table, Fatty, before we close out the show?
Not really. We got a couple live shows that we'll announce here soon. I know we have one that will be, I believe, January 25th at Mr. B's in Parma Heights off of 130th and Pearl.
And we have another one after that I mentioned earlier. I didn't say where, but
we have another one after that in February, and we are working on one right now for
to be determined.
To be determined, but we're hoping for December 21st, but we haven't got confirmation yet. So keep an eye out for that. We love to be out and about, talk to people. We will have extra microphones for people to join the show if they want to join.
You were gone. I was telling everybody we were buying rounds. We were getting the Here We Go Brownies chants going. We were doing all kinds of stuff. Labatt was giving stuff away.
Yes.
Was a blast.
Oh, we had a blast. I think we had too much of a blast at some point.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Hey,
I think that's fair.
When my wife looked at me and goes, "You brought an extra pizza home?" I'm like, "Shut up. Don't judge me. Don't judge me right now." But yeah, we have a couple more live shows chimed up, and especially Mr. B's. Vic is going to put out a spread for us. We're going to have a blast there. So if you guys want to come out and join us, January 25th at Mr. B's. It'll be a great time. So on that note, that's all I got, bud.
All right. So thanks for watching the Dawgs Table. We are brought to you by Remax Edge Realty, the JC Group. You can contact them at www.jcsells.com or myself. I don't want to be a secret agent. I am a realtor. I'm a real estate agent, and I work for Remax Edge Realty. So get a hold of me the JC Group for buying or selling your next home. And Labatt Blue. We are sponsored by Labatt Blue and brought to you by Big Play. You can watch on any of their channels as well as ours. And that's it. Until next time, from Jared and Craig here at the Dawgs Table, go Browns.
Go Browns.